I'm going to go ahead and hand it on over to our presenter, Alex Bastian, to introduce himself.
Good afternoon, everyone. Real pleasure being here with you. Velixo and Actions, it's a great partnership. Action has so many certified consultants, so many clients that we share, and we're happy to introduce Velixo, this reporting tool connecting Acumatica with Excel to the people that don't know it yet. Today, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate. Use the Q&A box. Be happy to answer them at the end of the presentation. I'll jump right in right now. So the company was founded 8 years ago. As you can see on the map, we have customers all over the world and also a network of partners in different areas to always make sure that we can service these customers well, like Action, for example. We're the #1 app on Acumatica on the marketplace. What it means basically is that we share the most customer with Acumatica as an ISV. We won many prizes for that. And also, we are rated both on the marketplace and on G2. I invite you to go there to see what are the comments from our customers. That's always very insightful to see what they say and what's the impact we had in their organization. Velixo is all about making sure that despite the fact that you've created this whole project, build a team to implement this ERP, you can still use your spreadsheet. Because at the end of the day, we know that it's something that is so useful, so powerful. So why not embrace this rather than think that this is something of the past? But let's do it in a connected way. Right now, when you're using Excel, or you're clicking, for example, export to Excel, what's happening is you have a disconnected experience. What I mean is that you're exporting at the specific moment. What I like to say is you're taking a picture of what's happening somewhere in your ERP, but a few minutes with the relentless pace of business today, the data could be obsolete. Also, the way it's exported may require a bit of reformatting. This is time-consuming, error-prone. If there's a mistake that gets inserted into that file, also it can have impact if it's shared externally. So we don't want that to happen. And also, finally, last point, everything you're doing right now in Excel stays in Excel, doesn't go back into the ERP. This is the reason why we've created Velixo. We are an augmented Excel experience connected to Acumatica. What we mean by that, first, like on the augmented, is that you have everything you had in Excel plus our own formulas to create reports. So we add to your Excel. We have a real-time live reporting. We'll see that in action in a few moments. Deeply integrated within the Acumatica ecosystem and then within their platform. So when we're talking about security first, we mirror everything that has been set up in Acumatica. Customization packages, we have that to make sure that your instance is compatible. GIs, import buttons, all of that, we have it. We're also bi-directional. This is extremely important. You can import, so you can pull information and push it. That's a key feature. We call it the write back. You'll see it in action a bit later. And finally, you can, if you're using Microsoft and you're using Outlook, you can also disseminate the information quite easily by email with the Microsoft 365 integration. So why Velixo for Acumatica? You can do more with your data. Create more advanced report without needing to learn a SQL language. You can import data. You can also better track visibility for faster decision making, real-time reporting, analyze live transaction, seamless integration, and finally, all of that allows you to become more efficient. Before we jump into the presentation and the demo, I simply wanted to share this slide. Very important. This is a snippet of a few customers we have. First, you can see, again, they're located all over the world, but it's very important also to know this. We're industry agnostic. So different industries, different sort of companies, what they all have in common, they use Excel. With that, I will start sharing my screen. We'll go into Excel. My goal, first step, is to show you how easy it is to create these reports by simply creating a trial balance, and then we'll go into more advanced functionalities. So I'll start sharing my screen. To be ready, I have already prepared. Perfect. I've already prepared my Excel. First thing you'll see here, if you don't have Velixo, obviously I do have it. You can simply click here, search Velixo, Velixo NX. In a few seconds, you have this ribbon that will appear. The first thing we'll want to do is select the type of connection. In this case, is Acumatica. For the name of the collection, we'll keep Acumatica, and then we simply put the information to connect to our instance. Very important, in this step, you can use SSO without any issues. So you see here, we have a green arrow, connection is valid, we're not connected to Velixo. This was mostly to create the connection. We have also a ribbon here, a header where you have the ability to refresh your data. You'll see that in action. The connection, we've just done it. Drill down, very interesting. You'll be able to click on any cell and go back to the source transaction into Acumatica. We'll explore also that later. Distribution, this I've mentioned. Right back, you have the ability here to insert charter accounts, a bit of formatting, and later we'll see also the options on how to navigate to the content we have available for you for free. I'll make my page a bit bigger. So what we'll do now, we'll import some accounts, their name, and the balance. Just gonna put that in bolded, create a bit more space. All right. So for accounts, insert chart of account, just like that we've inserted per chart of account. What you see here is one of the 90 dynamic function we've created. It's again very, very insightful. This is what allows you to create a report beyond what is offered in Excel. For the name, I'll show you where you can access the different functions we have. Here we have Velixo NX, whole section. We'll take account name. Please note that you have here the syntax. And if you have any doubt, you can click on this link, for example, and you'll be redirected right away into the knowledge base article that explains this function. This was a pretty simple one. We'll do it again for the balance to make sure you see how detailed it is. Very important also, just to mention on this, I'm on the knowledge base. I'm not logged in. All of this is public information. And we have also some templates that are available for free. So I'll walk you through to that later in the presentation. As you could remember, name of the connection, Acumatica, A8 for the account. Just like that, I'm going to also expand by clicking at the right bottom. Boom, we have all of the name of our accounts. Obviously, for the ledger, for the balance, we'll need more information. So we'll go with ledger. Sorry, my apologies. Actual. Sub-account, it's something you could put. I'm not going to put any. And finally, financial period. I'm going to put November 2019. Just like that. I'm going to go back here to my functions. Account ending balance. You can see here, compared to account name, that was the last one we looked, here, the syntax is much more complex. Don't be scared. If you have any questions, again, just click on this hyperlink. Just like that, page open, and you're automatically redirected again to the article. That gives you the description, syntax, parameters, the one that are required, optional. And in this case, a few examples also, and for all actually of the functions, you have examples. But this is to help you, again, create and use efficiently Velixo and create your reporting. So here, connection name, Acumatica, ledger, C1, account, we're going to put A8, and finally sub-account C2, and we have also as of C3, last one. Just like that, I'm importing the balance for this account. Again, I'm going to expand, boom, all of the accounts have now their balances. Now that I've done that, I can start having a bit of fun. Let's say I want to compare, create a variance between the budget of this year and the actual. I simply now change here, ledger, and we have the information in real time. Here, I'll create this simply C minus D, and you see column for the variance, expand it, and boom, we have again all the information we wanted. You can see very easy. It's not rocket science, and it's meant to be kept easy so you can extract all of the information that you have on Acumatica there. Very important, and we'll go into a more complex report very soon. What we can extract of Acumatica is everything that lives on the database. Again, very important information that I mentioned previously. Everything that I can import is based on the profile and the permissions that have been set up in Acumatica. So if I don't have access to certain information, it will not show into Excel. And I like to use an example. If someone for example, would like to import payroll to compare salary with his colleague, if he doesn't have access to this information, it will not work. Final point I'd like to show you is the ability to group accounts. So I'll create a range here, which is the first we can group. Simply copy here these three cells. So this is the range for the actual budget and the variance for 10,100 to 13,000. I could also select these two specific accounts, just like that. And the last one we call it the wildcard, which means, for example, all of the accounts having 5 digits starting by 1, and I can also add parameters here, exclude 13,000. So this part was simply, again, to show you how easy it is to create a report on the fly. Now we'll get into what it would look for you on a daily basis with consolidated financial reports. I'm sharing my screen again. Give me a quick second. And I'll start also to introduce to you different features we have, because this was, again, just an introduction to the inner workings of Velixo. First here, this financial sample package is available on our website and our knowledge base. I'll show you that at the end of the presentation where you can find it. Another important aspect here, you're allowed to further customize it. All of the parameters here are open. This is really to give you a head start to, and then you can further change and, as I said, customize it to make it perfectly fit your organization. You can see also here a little wildcard example. I'm going to collapse now these different parameters. What we have here is a profit and loss with a drop-down menu. From the consolidated, you can go through any business unit you want and see live the results for this period. You can also create a range. Again, this could be changed based on your need. You have here also consolidated profit and loss, this time with month and year. Select the period. P&L trailing, very similar to the first one we saw. We have a tiny bit more visual aspect here. Same drop-down menu where you can select the business unit that you want to view, where you want to view the financial data. Gross profit analysis. Now we have, again, the drop-down menu. Give me a quick second. Yeah. And again, pie chart and also graphs updating based on the unit we're selecting, or going back to consolidated, the aggregated data. And finally here, a more advanced trial balance. I'll go back to my P&L here and my consolidated. Now I'd like to introduce you to the first feature I've mentioned, the drill down. I really like this. I'm personally a manager. I have a few colleagues under me. They're traveling to different parts of the country. Sometimes, for example, for an live event with actions. And when they're doing this travel, obviously we have rules. We want to make sure that we're controlling the spending, that everything is justified and reasonable. With this, I can go easily to understand what, for example, the $200 of travel means. I will do it from the total expenses just to show you how strong it is, but I could select also just that cell. So right now I just do this, click on a specific cell, and all of the transaction comprised in that total are now here. You have the source cell. If I click here, I go back to my original spreadsheet here. In a few seconds, we'll click on view transaction straight into Acumatica. Name of my connection, tiny bit different with this workbook. It's demo, ledger, account, description, sub-account, the department, the period, and obviously here, all of the balances. We'll remember we're looking at this $200 of travel. One of my colleague traveled somewhere. I'm not sure. Does that make sense? Let me review the transaction in Acumatica. So what happens when I click there? I'm automatically redirected if I was logged into Acumatica. If not, I just need to put my credential to the source transaction. I can see the module, account payable, batch number, transaction date, and also the debited amount. I have a small description, night at the Hilton. So I know, okay, that's $200 for travel, still from branch serviced. Still doesn't fully ring a bell. With the reference number, I can go to a deeper level and now be able to see the invoice. So again, when you're doing consolidation or you're trying to do an internal or external audit, that just helps you because you don't have to look for this information. We take you by the end with our integration with Acumatica, and you go straight to the information that is relevant for you. I'd like to open a quiet parenthesis. So far, mostly what we've seen was information that was account-based. Your ERP is storing so much information, and we didn't want to leave you with just a small part of it. As I mentioned, everything that lives on the database of Acumatica can be imported to Excel via Velixo. So I'd like to open a quick parenthesis to show you how we can do the GIs. And this is payables and as different GIs. You have more, if I'm not mistaken, than 200 of GIs coming with Acumatica with our generic inquiries. Sorry, I don't want to lose you with the acronym. So bill and adjustment is one of them. You can already see here the Velixo symbol, and I will do it in a tiny, more manual way because that would just export the data straight into Excel. If you want to manipulate and create your own filters, you simply, for example, go here, bill and adjustment, you copy that. I'll go back to the spreadsheet here. We'll go here and simply open GI. Acumatica is the name of my connection, and you can see here the different parameters appear. So you can even follow when you're creating a report what you need to put in it. Just like that, I can import the GI straight from my instance. Again, if I had the permission to view it, which I had. Now it's a ton of information. First, you can see it was extremely fast. I'm creating again this from scratch. We now can segment it. Let's say I want vendor, status, and date, for example. Just like that, I'll segment the information the way I want, and I could even create vendor. I'll put vendor transit and status open. So I'm going to create a dynamic filter here, GI filter, name of my connection, copy again this vendor B1 and status B2. Just like that, I've created a filter, and this is what I'm going to add here. So C3. Now it's a dynamic filter. I can see information based on the filter I'm choosing. I saw that we have a question. I'll take a quick pause since we've advanced quite fast during this presentation. Do you have any predefined project reports or templates available? Very good question. So project reports, we do have some. I can walk Don, I can show you at the end of the presentation when you can find them. Just as a question for myself and also to see where you're going. Is it construction related, the project reports that you'd like to see, or is it a different sort of project report? What are you trying to track? And you can answer there. I'll be happy to look at your answer and give more details when we'll review all of the templates that are available. But by the way, just so you know, we're revamping. We already have a project report, and we're revamping it. Yes, perfect, wonderful. So we have one right now. It's being revamped to make it more appealing and add a few of the persona that we've been developing for construction. It will be soon released. But if you're interested, I can also see if, for example, perhaps you could be part of our early adopter process. It's going to be very, very soon available to everyone, and it is free of charge. So thank you for your question, Don. I really appreciate it. I like the interaction. Anyone, if you have any questions, please go ahead. For the presentation now, I'll show you, I think, what is our most impactful feature. So I'm going back here to this financial template. And by the way, Don, this is also something that is available for free. Again, I'll show you where to find it on our website after. What is this impactful feature is the write back. The write back is the ability, as I mentioned at the beginning, to basically send back information into the system. This is the original example. I'll make it a little bit bigger. This is a liability accrual, insurance accrual write back. Basically, we had a customer that was creating this calculation, revenue multiplied by the rate here to create these entries that were done manually on a monthly basis. It was cumbersome, taking a lot of time, obviously error prone, and they asked Velixo, because we always have a willingness to hear the feedback from our customers, what could be improved. Can you help us streamline that process, accelerate it? In the analysis of this business case, we realized that everyone would benefit from having this write back ability, so to send information. So much that we've created 3 different templatized scenarios. Journal transaction, you're seeing right now, the budget, and going back to you, Don, the project forecast. So with these 3 fully templatized, you have that with the standard Velixo license. If you have any other scenarios, we've created also what we call the universal write back. So this is basically the ability for you to create your own import scenario and then create different cases or different scenarios that are only relevant for your organization, or at least the template is only relevant for your organization, and have them communicate both ways with Acumatica via Velixo. So you see tons of scenarios have been created. These are real scenarios used by our customers right now. Now, without further ado, let's see that in action. I'm going to change the rate to 3%. You can see the entries have been updated now. If I have the permission level, always the same here, I'm going to perform write back, current sheet. And just like that, information will be flowing. Very important, I've not put automatic released. So I'm creating an extra step here to confirm the information. So you can see this information is the same as this one. Because I've put automatic release no, it's not been published yet. So if, for example, I made a mistake, it's not there, I can correct it. Sorry, I could, for example, say the rate was not 3, actually it was 3.2. Perform another write back, and have then the information is confirmed. Okay, the first one was not the right one. This is the right one. Remove the old, and now this is information into the accounts. This is one of the most important feature because it allows to streamline a lot of things, just gain so much time. The feedback is tremendous from our customers. So I hope that this is something that applies to your reality. As I said, we have journal transaction, budget, and project forecast fully integrated into our standard offering. You can see here, for example, the budget write back scenario with an automatic release this time. I'm going to change the sales revenue here. It's calculating, change it to update it to 10%. Poof, just like that, it's going to be flowing into the instance. Very easy, very intuitive, and very important also to say that if you wanted, you could update it, not perform the write back. And with the last feature that I'm gonna show you, which is the distribution list, collaborate on confirming information. Now the write back has been performed, and once it's confirmed, once someone, probably the manager, would perform the write back. Like, that's what I've done here. Created a small comment. I was in a demo with someone in Puerto Rico, so I had to ask Rodrigo, could you verify this number before I do the write back? And we can exchange emails, confirm, or even just work on the same file, and that would work. It would allow us to confirm. The last thing here, the distribution tool, very, very important. This is where your use of Outlook, unfortunately, if you're using Gmail, you will not have access to that because this is based on the Microsoft integration we've created, allows you to easily disseminate the information in different ways and different formats. First, you could create a folder path to send this specific report directly to this folder, or you can send an email. Very important here, when we're talking about the format, we have different options available. Excel, just Excel. So you have numbers, but you cannot manipulate them. I mean, you can manipulate them with Velixo formula. You can remove, my apologies, this is the second one. You remove the Velixo formula where you have basically plain numbers. You don't want people to play too much around. You just want them to read them. And you have also PDF. It's important also to notice that you have the ability to select a specific branch or specific tab or both. So if you're sending an email to your CEO, to your manager, and another one to the CFO, for example, or to someone, for example, a colleague in a different department, you don't need to send the whole workbook. You can specify it. I want a specific tab, and in that tab, I want these specific branches, or that were obviously part of the dropdown, to make sure that the information they're reading and the consulting is what remains relevant for them, and not everything, and they need to basically navigate to see what was the purpose of your email. Once you've done that, you can then put the emails, email subject, email body, and just like that, with all of this information, you click, all of that is going to all of your different colleagues. So this is, again, another way for you to save time. It's our way for us to make sure that you're using Velixo with as many people as possible, that you perhaps have a first use case, but that through time you discover different ways to embrace the solution, and you can also offer it to all departments. Another important aspect that I did not mention, Velixo for Acumatica, it's one license, unlimited users. So again, this is a way for you to fully adopt that where it makes sense in your organization. Last thing I wanted to show you here, with the help, you have tons of information. You can submit the idea, like the person that did it, that could basically spark this idea of the write back. But you have also the ability to download, for example, and to go from Excel straight into the different templates that we offer. So this is basically a connection that allows you to go right away into our knowledge base. There's tons of content. Right now, we're just in this specific section. If we go here into the knowledge base, you have how to get started, the customization packages that you might need to apply to your Acumatica instance, function, how to, troubleshooting, and here you have the different templates. Today, my whole presentation was based on this financial demo report template. You can see it. You can download it at any time. I'm not logged. You don't need to pay anything extra. And going back to you, Don, here you have the construction template. Well, you have a lot of insightful information and reports, obviously. So you have a work in progress, cost over time, project forecast, which is basically the tab that you'll be using to update any information and write it back into the system. Yes, thank you, Don. I'll read your question. So you were asking in column E, could you include multiple email address? No problem. It's totally possible. Yes. Thank you very much again for your questions. I like the interaction. Going back just to wrap up, on where we were here. Oh, sorry, knowledge base. Tons of information, but also you have a quick link here. You can submit the ticket if you have any questions. We have a support that is there to help you. And you can also send email at support@velixo.com. This is also something that is included in your license. What is not included that is important to say is training. So right now, so far, we have only 2 add-ons. One was the generic write back that we've mentioned earlier. Second one is the training. And for the training, we also created an offer that I hope you'll find appealing. For $960 a year, you have the ability to have unlimited access to our Velixo Academy, train yourself and as many colleagues you want throughout the year. You can redo sessions. You can do. We have 3 different certification level class levels, so you can do them 1, 2, 3 times, unlimited access. Again, just for $960, everyone in your company can train themselves on Velixo. And the last thing also that is not included and that could be done either by our team or the action team that has a lot of, again, consultants that are certified in Velixo is the custom reports. If you want a report from day one, want professional services to build it for you, it is something that is billable. We'd be happy to jump in a call with you to scope that, understand better the need, find the best path to get there. But that's not included in the software license. This is additional services. I want to share that out of transparency because our offering is pretty solid, but there's a few things that you may want to add depending on your needs and also your level of comfort with Excel. But again, the training should address this second one if you want to just get more dangerous with Excel.